Hello and welcome back to another game. Today we are on Arena again. For those who don't know, Arena is actually quite a common map. Lots of players dedicate themselves to playing it, and really the only thing to really say about it is you start off in this big round area which is just really set up by trees, and your base is entirely walled off from the start. So apart from that, really, there's not a lot else to say about it. Every player, of course, gets their deer patch, their berries, 2 boar each, depending, some are on the inside, some are on the outside of the wall. There's a deer patch as well, so Viper actually not having a nice position at the moment. But anyway, I'll get to that. In the yellow, we have Buzz the Viper playing as the Britons. Buzz just playing one of his old clans, so that sets that one up. And I think this game was played fairly recently. I think it was played in like August or something, so doesn't really matter. And in the blue we have Randomized, who's going to be playing as the Vikings. And Randomized, as we know, is a really strong arena player now, so I thought it would be interesting to see who he is. I'm pretty sure it's not a new account either, because I did hear someone say that they're not going to reveal his name because people don't want him to, but we know he's a Finnish person, I think, from memory, so there we go. Nothing really too insane to say about that. So, Civ matchup, Vikings versus Britons. Not really a lot to say on that, but Britons, of course, being a primarily archer civilization, against Vikings, which do have quite a big infantry bonus, kind of outweighs there. The extra range, probably, especially with like pikemen, champions, things like that they like to use, they'll be able to cut them down quite quickly, and they do get, Vikings, of course, get all the way up to Arbalest as well, but they are going to be down on range, so it's going to be really hard for him actually to keep up. Could see Cavalier, maybe, if he's got a good enough economy, which is definitely possible, because Vikings have a crazy economy. So he could go for Knights and something like that, and really try and put on the pressure early from Viper, because he has been forced to delete a segment of his wall here. Could even see a castle get dropped and stables behind it, but it's going to come down to how the game plans out, and of course that's assuming that Viper decides to go with archers, which we know he can do a lot of different things, so he might not even go for that, but we'll see as time goes on. Relics as well, really important in arena games, because, well, if you get stuck in your base, you're not going to have access to all this gold which is outside, so you're going to need to rely on something for gold, and relics, well, free gold. Why not? So if we look at them, they are pretty well divided up. I don't think anyone's got any starting in their base, which is good, because every now and then you do see people who actually start with relics inside their base, and that's actually a great deal there. That's very well done by Viper. Anyway, deleting another wall segment here, actually. He could get pushed really hard, actually, by Randomized if he notices this. Randomized forced to delete off one wall segment there as well. Generally, the tactic for these arena type games is fast castling. It's something that everybody really does on this map, just because you can't really do a lot to these walls. The only reasons you really can do things in field is if you can get a sheep or something under the gate to hold it open. You can smash in through one of these little areas here. That's about it. And a barrack's actually going down for Viper right now, so I'm not going to say the blacksmith market. He could actually go for a push here, but going to depend, because blacksmith market, of course, is the cheaper wood alternative. But it's going to be interesting. He could just go for an archer range and a blacksmith as well. But archer range, and if he starts creating units, he's probably going to do some kind of a push. If not, we don't know. Randomized going up just a little bit later, and are you going to go for units? And I heard a blacksmith and castle age. Alright, so he's not going to be trying to do any kind of push. And there goes Randomized with the blacksmith at the market, so up for him as well. Going to be a little bit behind still, but the populations for Viper, we have 28. For Randomized, we have 29. So that's the difference there. It's just an extra villager. Nothing too big really going on. And Archer's already on the production by a Viper already. Let's see what's his actual plan right now. Well, he hasn't got any stone, so he's not going to be dropping a castle anytime soon. He could go forward with a siege workshop. He does have a lot of wood available, and he could drop one of them, go for a mangonel or a ram or something, try and bust his way in. Mangonel probably going to be the most likely answer. Or he could just go for a boom. And there's the town center. There's the town center. Looks like he's going to be booming this one out. Randomized. Are you going to try and do something weird to get back in there, or I'm waiting for those town centers to drop because he hasn't started taking anything yet. Siege Workshop and a Monastery. It looks like we are going to see a push from Randomized right now. Generally, if you put down a Siege Workshop and a Monastery, it means you're going to be going for a Siege Monk push, which is really obvious actually. But of course, that will be able to do quite a bit of damage and a bit of scout fighting out here. Looks like Randomized will just take that one. And of course, using that better economy, he might be able to come up with quite a significant push here. Let's see what he's actually going for. He's got 1 monk, 2 monk, and a mangonel. The best thing is, that's enough to really put on a push in Arena, especially if your opponent isn't ready for it. But the thing is, if this push fails though, Viper is going to be so ahead when it comes to economy. Because, well, Randomized has 1 town center up, but that's still not the worst in the world. Viper actually has some archers over here, because he will be able to start picking off of this gold if he starts going for it. Because, of course, they do get that +2 range. This mangonel here actually could get a nice hit. And killing 1 off, and leaving these 2 on 4 hit points. That's actually really lucky for Randomized right now. Monk is collecting relics right now, so it looks like Randomized is going to be in this for the long run. Not much score difference between the two at the moment, but of course there has been a few units lost, and that was an interesting one to try and get out. Few units lost for Viper, so that can help Randomized in his score. And if we actually have a look, is he going? Yep, 3rd town center is on its way, using that Supreme Viking economy. And I think that's only 1 relic, but we'll find out soon enough. Yes, only 1, but 2 more to come, because he does have 2 relics out there already. This crossbow here could be killed off by this mangonel, and yes, it looks like that was an attack ground 2, so great shot there by him. And it looks like not a lot else going on right now. Might be just about to see a push right now, actually, from Randomized. Especially on this house right here, could be a good way to go. More relics being collected by him. Monastery and a siege workshop going down by Viper. Looks like Viper is expecting a push, and there it is. So monks and siege will be enough to hold that off, hopefully, for him. And what else are we seeing? Anything else? And there's the house. And it looks like that monk was just killed off by that crossbow there. Definitely cost-effective engagement. Another mangonel out for a Randomized. Viper's starting to get ahead, of course, just because he had more town centers out early. But the Viking economy might actually be able to balance that one out, because of course they do get wheelbarrow and handcart free, which is a really big deal, actually. Mangonel out patrolling by Viper, and it looks like we might see a small mangonel war here, and ooh, great job by Viper, they're managing to get that one. Could actually get this monk as well. Collecting a relic of his own there, could be going for another one. And yes, he is. This mangonel, of course, is just giving a great line of sight for him to just explore, make sure his opponent isn't forwarding, seeing no castle come up, anything like that. And another monk there, picking up a relic for Viper. Looks like the relics will be kind of even. It looks like Randomized is going to end up with 3, where Viper ends up with only 2. Let's actually just check I'm right on that one. There should be 2 in here. Yes, and a 3rd on the way. There we go. And not going to be able to hit him there because he's got no ballistics. Mangonel for Mangonel here, actually. Viper might be able to get this one again, and of course these exchanges are really worth it. Getting 2 monks there with that one, that is really going to hurt, actually. That is 200 gold. And Viper just showing that amazing Mangonel micro right now. And that one there not dying, and just surviving with that one there, quite close. Viper's economy at this point on a 4 town center base, going on with the university now. His economy is starting to get extremely strong. He has 300 points up on Randomized because, well, he's just had so much extra time to start buffing his army and his economy at the same time. So what are we seeing? Barracks, siege workshop, archery range. Archery range, looks like we are going to be seeing Randomized go for a push really soon now. Viper as well, going out with another archery range, and see, is he training units or something, getting ready for this? No, but there is a lot more archer ranges going down now. It looks like he is going to be going for a push very, very soon. And I don't think he's got any archers around the map. He's got a monk over there. But apart from that, nothing really too special. And I'm just watching the building, seeing what both players are going for. Randomized going up to Imp, about to hit there now, just finishing the E. And Viper about to hit Imp as well. There we go. There we go. Lots of skirmishes out for Randomized already, because he is expecting an archer push, which is exactly right when you're playing against Britons. Generally, you will see lots and lots and lots of archers. And here he goes forward with the villagers. He does nearly have enough stone to get a castle. That mangonel could prove quite damaging. And gonna miss there. Good split. Arbalest has been done. 5+4 range right now. Capped Rams moving out. That mangonel again gonna be hard to deal with. Lots of skirmishes pushing up as well. So this is going to be an interesting one, actually, and I think he's got ballistics now. It looks like he's got ballistics anyway. Decent split there, keeping all his units still alive. Some on quite low health, but they are still alive. Skirmishers here not going to be able to keep up the range. 5+5 range on these arbalests now. And these rams are just taking damage for no particular reason. Lots of arbalests on the way. Siege Workshop, nothing yet. Does have the resources to put down a castle if he wants to go for it. It's going to be interesting. Currently only 300 points in it, which is actually quite a lot considering there hasn't been a lot of booming. It's been just a lot of booming, sorry. But randomized right now, what's he going for? More archer ranges, more skirmishes by the looks of it. Doesn't have enough stone to go for a castle either, so it looks like he's going to be playing quite defensive for a while. And these arbalests here are going to actually be able to do a lot of damage, provided they stay out of range of the mangonels and the skirmishers, because of course they do have 10 range on them, which is, well, a hell of a lot, considering a mangonel has 7 and elite skirmisher, with all the upgrades has 8. So going to be a lot of damage there. Armor upgrades are, well, the upgrades at the moment are definitely tied, but of course that extra range thing, it really does make them a lot stronger. The rams are moving in, and that's going to be hard for Viper to run into, but and it looks like I've left my Voobly on, so you may, hopefully someone doesn't try and talk to me. And pushing out with those skirmishes, more archer micro, more and more archer macro, and it looks like this gate here could go down. Actually, this mangonel is going to have to get into position pretty quickly, or this gate can go down. We might see skirmishers marching in. Could even see some cavalry as well if he decides to go for it. But these arbalests at the moment managing to hold off these skirmishes. And archer ranges are going down, more and more ranges randomized again, just continuing to push through here. And that mangonel is finally in position to do some damage to some of these rams. But it looks like randomized has cracked into Viper right now. And if these skirmishes really start pushing in, I don't know what he's going to be able to do about it. Because of course, if he can keep the ranges far away, then he'll be able to do a lot of damage with the arbalest. If he doesn't, it's going to be quite a bit of a struggle, because as we know, skirmishers beat arbalest on most archer units. Castle going up here, so it is going to be able to defend, but again, these rams going to be able to do quite a bit of damage. Anything trying to run in, though, will take a significant amount of damage from that castle, of course, unless they're skirmishers with all the upgrades, because 8 armor is a lot on them. So Orion now still looking quite close in the upgrades, nothing ridiculous, can't see any really weird transitions about to happen. More archer ranges going down for a randomized, can't see stables or anything, so he's not prepared for that. Viper as well, not preparing for stable push, because he could go for something like Cavalier at this stage, which means they could do, you know, quite a bit of damage, especially when your opponent's gone for all skirmishers and rams. But what are we seeing here? Archer range, archery range, and speeding it back up. Waiting for the push. Come on, you can do it. Mangonels, of course, going to be a valuable asset to this army. And lots of Onagers actually from Viper, which is smart, because there is a lot of rams out in play, and these Onagers will be able to really do a lot of damage. Plus skirmishers as well, as we know, take a lot of damage from Onagers and Mangonels, or anything along that, well, unit path. So, barracks going up, actually. I think he might... What's he going for? Is he going for champions? That's an interesting one. Men-at-Arms, yes, it looks like he is going for champions right now, which is going to be quite an interesting one, actually. And here go the Onagers. Ooh, doing a lot of damage there, actually, just smothering those skirmishers with rocks. Siege Workshop is going up over here, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. Randomized is going to have a lot of trouble just holding up against these Siege Onagers. And once the champion switch comes in, it's going to be quite hard to hold off, actually. And continuing to push forward with these mangonels, well, Onagers now. And we're seeing a lot of things. Onager has been done for our Vikings player, and it is going to be quite even here, actually. No one having siege engineers, so no +1 range for anybody, and losing that one out there. It is quite close, going to need more Onagers if he really wants to hold that line. Capped Ram is being done, looks like he's getting ready to push in himself. And longswords, two-handed being on the way. Upgrades, what are we seeing in the blacksmith? Where is your blacksmith over there? Chainmail armor, so he is getting ready for what looks like a big champion push, actually. Considering his opponent's going for crossbows right now, this might not be the best decision in the world, but it's gonna depend on how it pays off. It depends if these crossbows keep getting made. If there's going to be a big army of crossbows and he's going to march towards it with champions, that's not going to end well, and we know that. But if he can It's still going to be hard to deal with. 2 siege workshops going up for a Viper on the front line there. That mangonel being the only thing really stopping these skirmishes from advancing. And not getting too much there. Extra siege workshops going up for randomized too as well. Viper currently up by 800 points, which is quite a bit. Currently 36 minutes into the game. And killing a few more units there, and losing at that last Onager there. This could be really bad for him. Are we seeing... Yes, champion is being done. We are seeing squires. So we might just go for a massive champion push, actually, and just straight into the skirmishes. Because if they get close enough, then, well, the damage is all good. Siege Ram has been done, which means that these archers are going to be becoming just extremely less effective. Because as we know, 195 armor, 270 HP, you know how that's going to go up against a archer. Skirmishes as well. Looks like they are actually going to start pushing forward. I think he's realized that he doesn't have any onagers to defend, which is going to make it quite difficult, actually. There could be a big push here from Randomized. And here we go, and in go the soon-to-be champions. How soon? 85%. It's going to be a close one. Ram. No mangonels. But Ingo, the two-handed swordsman, they do have their armor upgrades, and of course they are getting towards those skirmishes also slowly. Champion upgrade has been done, so 13 plus 2 attack and 1 plus 4 armor there on the pierce. Of course, onagers as well, going to be able to do quite a bit of damage, but you're going to have to hope they don't do too much damage to your own skirmishes. And here's going exactly what we said. These champions are just pushing in really close to these skirmishes, and a lot of the skirmishes can't hit them, and that could actually be really bad there for those rams. I just definitely heard a monk there. I can't exactly see where it is though. Arbalest being produced right now for randomized, so he's going to be able to start cutting down these champions, but I don't know if he's going to be able to stem the flow here, because Arbalests are still coming out for Viper, and his do have the increased range, which is going to make them so effective. And it looks like these units here are just doing a lot of damage. More onagers coming out, and Viper is pretty much gone completely into rams now, so he is going for quite a big push here actually. And it looks like they are going after the onagers. Little bit of damage going on there, nothing too big. And again over here, it looks like Viper's starting to push up quite well. The scores are currently about, what do we got, about 1,700 points towards Viper. He's really starting to rake this game in. His economy might just be flying, or he might just be having a great K to D at the moment. Looks like this ram will be taken out now just by champions for no real effective reason. These Arbalests pushing up against these ones, of course, having that extra range are really going to be able to help them. Apart from that, pretty even in upgrades. Finally hitting that 5 plus a 6, giving them that massive 7 range, as we know from the British players, or the Britons. Siege workshops. Of course, more rams out in play, but Viper's push right now is starting to really look like it's going to be unstoppable. 173 population for him, randomized on 163, so he's not that far behind. The economy is still pretty decent. Viper's pretty good as well, not looking like he's going to run out of gold or stone anytime soon. These villagers here might be trying to claim this gold over here, because, well, if your opponent's not taking it, you may as well, because it's better to have it for yourself than leave it for them. And as well, there was a debate. The British got the increased range on their skirmishes. There you go. They don't. They are not counted as an archer. They are counted as a skirmisher unit. So there you go. I actually heard that one. There was a big debate over it for no particular reason. But skirmishers did not get the extra range from the Britons. And of course, pushing in through here. Going to be able to hold this down for quite a while. Pushing. Again, it looks like this could just about be GG, honestly. I don't think Randomized has enough to hold it back at this stage. Because, like we can see, Viper's going to be able to start pushing into his base soon, and once that happens with these rams, all these buildings are just going to topple, and he's not going to be able to do much about it at all. Champions, again, starting to not see quite so many. Looks like he's transitioned out of them into a skirmisher. Because, well, he knows that his opponent's going for mostly Arbalest. It is kind of like a game of rock, paper, scissors on Arena. And complete skirmisher. And Randomized resigning out there, knowing he's not going to be able to hold this one off. Fair enough, so I hope you enjoyed the Arena game, and I'll see